In this video, I will explain the relationship between X inactivation and X-linked inheritance. For this, I'm going to need some help from a furry friend. I have a cat with short yellow fur named Butterbun. Fur color is a trait found on the X chromosome, with the black fur allele, X big B, being dominant to the yellow fur allele, X little b. Fur length is an autosomal trait, with long fur, big H, being dominant to short fur, little h. When we adopted Butterbun, whose genotype is X little b, little h, we decided to adopt a male cat with long black hair to keep her company, named Salem, whose genotype is X big B, Y, big H, little h. One day, we discovered that Butterbun got pregnant with two female and two male kittens, who she then gave birth to a short time later. After a few weeks, we discovered that both female kittens had an interesting mix of black and yellow patches of fur called tortoiseshell. I wondered as to why this color pattern happened on these kittens instead of the others. The answer for this is X inactivation. Females have two X chromosomes, which is a detrimental excess of genetic information in somatic cells. To eliminate this excess, X inactivation occurs, where one of the X chromosomes are randomly deactivated and condensed into an untranscribable ball called a bar body. According to the Lion hypothesis, this process occurs randomly from cell to cell. So Buttercup, who is one of the females with long hair, and who has both a black and a yellow allele, experienced a randomized deactivation of one of the X chromosomes in each of her somatic cells during development. Note that this phenomenon only occurs on the sex chromosomes in females, and because this is so, this leads to the expression of certain genes that can only be found on these chromosomes. So what was the probability of this happening? To show this, we will use a branch diagram. To start, we cross Buttercup's parents' sex chromosomes. Salem, the father, has a 1/2 chance of donating his X big B chromosome and a 1/2 chance of donating his Y chromosome, and Butterbun will have a 100% chance of passing on her X little b chromosomes. When we cross, we get a 1/2 chance that the child will be a tortoiseshell female and 1/2 chance that the child will be a yellow male. Next, we then branch off of each and then calculate the next phenotype, which is hair length. If we do our Punnett square, we will find that there is a 1/2 chance of getting heterozygous long hair and a 1/2 chance of short hair for both color/gender probabilities. We will then multiply all of these values across to get the values shown here. These are the ratios that you could expect to see in the cross between Butterbun and Salem. Buttercup is tortoiseshell and has long hair, so this would be her genotype probability. Now, could we clone Buttercup to make another tortoiseshell? Well, this could not be possible, because if we took a cell to clone, that cell would only have one of the color alleles, which will lead to only that allele being expressed. In other words, the clone can be either black or yellow, but not tortoiseshell, since both the dominant and recessive alleles are required for this pattern to be expressed.